Do you have any memories from when you were a little kid that just make you uncomfortable to think about? Especially since you were so young at the time that you didn't know any better. Well, this is mine. My mom used to take me to this really big playground in my town. And when I say really big, I'm not exaggerating. It was probably the biggest playground you'd ever see, if only I knew the name of it. The playground was entirely wooden, and every Saturday and Sunday, there would be at least 50 kids playing across it, with the parents all tucked away in the shaded area, reading their magazines and whatnot. One typical busy day at the playgrounds, I was running along a big open platform when an older woman stopped me and said, "Hi." She kept going on and on about how cute I was and how she loved my blonde hair. It started to seem like she knew me based on the way she was talking to me. And then she told me that my mom left and that she told her to take me home. Keep in mind I was only 6, so I believed her. The woman took me to the parking lot to an old station wagon where a man, I now presumed to be her husband, was sitting in the driver's seat. He acted all friendly to me as the woman motioned me into the back seat, but I remember him yelling and lecturing at her about something. The man drove very aggressively and quickly as he was leaving the parking lot. We came to the light at the exit of the park. It was red. Just then a car pulled up behind us and laid on the horn. I looked behind us, and it was my mom's car. The man blew through the red light, which even I picked up on, and started flooring it down the streets. I started to cry and scream as I realized my mom didn't know these people. Not long after, the man pulled the car over and yelled at the top of his lungs at me to get out of the car. I opened the door, still crying my eyes out in fear. My mom pulled up next to me, ran out of the car, and hugged me. In the heat of the moment, she didn't get the tag number, nor was she able to call the police, since this was 2001 and there were no cell phones. I really wish I didn't remember this day so clearly. I would have rather had just been one of those memories that the brain chooses to repress. When I was 17 in my last year of high school, I was finally starting to hit things off with a girl I liked. I'll call her Lynn. Lynn was a big pot smoker. At the time, it really wasn't my thing, but I went along with it just because I live a couple blocks from her, so I always walked before I got a car. Across the street from her house is a park. Commonly at night, she'd instant message me on AOL to come hang out at the park. Sometimes we just sit on the playground at night and talk for hours. Sometimes she convinced me to smoke with her. It was always such a private place to hang out and talk, especially at night. A line of thick trees surrounded the playground as well, creating a wall of sorts. Well, one night, we both snuck out around 12 and met at the playground in the park. We talked for a while, then Lynn perked up, playfully hit me on the shoulder, and said we should play hide and seek. It may sound immature for a couple seniors in high school to play hide and seek, but it just seemed like it would be fun. She told me to go to the trees and count to 30. When I was done, my first instinct was, of course, to check the playground, and if she wasn't there, I'd move on to the picnic match area. We always had flashlights on us when we went to the park, because this was before everyone had phones with flashlights in their pockets. I stepped from the grass onto the wood fiber mulch surrounding the playgrounds. I aimed my flashlight up to the playgrounds because I guess I was too lazy to go out there if I didn't have to. You know those big plastic circular things with a bunch of tiny holes in it that a lot of playgrounds have? Maybe not, but there was one of those things up at the highest level of the playgrounds, and through a bunch of holes, I could see what appeared to be skin and a jacket. But what stood out the most was her eye peering through one of the holes. Instead of going up there right away, I decided it would be fun to kind of mess with her. I waved the flashlight around the playground, pretending like I didn't see her. I was gonna walk to the picnic area, turn on the flashlight, walk around to the trees, back to the playgrounds, sneak up on her, and scare the living daylights out of her. Don't ask me why. I just wanted to. I walked to the picnic area, shut off the flashlight, and snuck back over to the playgrounds. I was careful not to make noise as they cried through the wood chips that the playground sat on. Before I could even step foot on the first platform of the playground, something grabbed my arm and pulled me. I actually screamed, but stopped when I heard the wind's laughter. I turned on the flashlight and was relieved to see it was her. The prank obviously backfired completely. After that, we went back up to the second level platform of the playground that we always chill there. I asked her if she knew that I saw her behind that plastic thing at the top of the playground, but she was confused. She acted as if she never went up there. I explained to her that I saw someone up there. We both looked up as the tiny creaking sounds we had been hearing every so often suddenly made a disturbing amount of sense. I aimed the light up there, which revealed someone's head hunched over the railing of the platform above us. At the same time, we heard footsteps kicking the wood chips around right below the platform we were sitting on. I made the first move for us to run, and Lynn followed suit. I turned out my flashlight while we ran, which wasn't long since Lynn's house was right across the street. We went to her room, shut the curtains, and I stayed there for the night, not wanting to go home. That marked the end of our late-night visits to the park.